Hi, welcome to Soul Stream Media. I'm Stacey St. Clair, your host. Today, I'm so excited to have Kellee White with us. She is a spiritual medium and psychotherapist. Kellee loves guiding souls and healing hearts, specializing in trauma, grief counseling, life transitions, using astrology, mediumship, numerology, and psychic insights for transformative healing. Her website is Kellee, Kellee, white.com. We'll remind you again of that at the end. Kellee, thank you so much for coming on Soul Stream Media.
Hi, Stacy. Thank you for
Huh?
having me. This is very exciting for the new year.
Yes,
It's
it's
a great way to start the new year.
divine timing, and I so appreciate you being you are my first
Yeah.
interview for the new year. Happy New Year. That's fantastic. So, Kellee wrote a book, Cracked Open, and it's about her journey from corporate America to being the spiritual healer, guide, intuitive that she is today. But I love that you have the psychotherapy Western training along with that. So, tell us about Cracked Open and what happened, and then also, when did you write that book? Was it right after you cracked open?
Well, it was a book in progress because I
Okay.
didn't know from what happened to me, which I'll explain in a second. I didn't know where it would take me. And so I didn't publish the book until last year. It took me that long. So in the year 2000, I had been a vice president of a large corporation. I was in the meat business, if you can imagine that. And I always intuitively knew that I was supposed to be doing something else, but I was a single parent and was making good money and I wouldn't have even thought of doing anything else. There's no way I would have left my career. And I was really career driven. And I'd been doing a lot of traveling. I'd been all over the world. And I promised my daughter, who was 15 at the time, that I would take her to see Sting at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles. And as we were getting into the car, as spirit would have it, I smashed my frontal lobe. I smashed my head
Wow.
and hit my frontal lobe. And to make a very long story short, my life at that moment completely changed.
Cracked
I
open.
didn't know it at the
Cracked your
time.
head.
I cracked my head wide open. I was bleeding internally. I bled for a year and a half. I had what's called a slow leaker. I had a 5 millimeter hole. And there was no way in my mind that I thought that I had even hit my head. I mean, I remember blacking out. I remember hitting my head, but I didn't think in those days, head trauma is like you just keep going. And plus, I was a single parent. I just kept going and I kept going until I couldn't move anymore. And then at that point, I started seeing, for lack of a better word, dead people everywhere.
Mm.
And
Mm.
then I realized it came to me through a lot of pain and suffering, actually. And my mother was a psychologist, and she really, really helped me so much with this. But it turned out that I had mediumistic talent. And then that kind of just blew right through. I started seeing my spirit guides. And if anybody walked in a room, you or anybody, I would see your people that you had lost, and they'd all want me to give messages. And I had to learn discretion. I had to learn quickly what
Mhm.
was happening to me. And it turns out that in my family, my
I
grandfather,
was just going to ask if there was a
there's
generation.
few ways to become a medium, and one of them is through a generational situation. My grandfather was a psychic medium. He was actually a physical medium, which
Was
meant
that
he
your
was
mother's?
my mother's father. He could raise tables. He would say he
Oh,
was a
so is
table
that in the
tipper.
20s or 30s, probably?
It started about then, yes.
Yeah.
Table tipping started in 18, like right during the Civil War, but it's probably gone on for centuries and
Yeah.
centuries. But my grandfather was famous in that area of Southern Indiana for doing table tipping and doing readings for people. And in fact,
Did he use the tarot or
no,
no,
just he was a
intuitive read?
dowser. He was a natural dowser. So we'd
Okay.
go around the room and then he'd say table dance and the table would lift up but
Wow.
I didn't know any of this. My mother kept this from me, so I had no idea. In fact, my mother fled from that area,
Right, she went to
went to Beverly
psychotherapy.
Hills, actually
Yeah.
became a psychologist and well known in her field. And so when this started happening to me, she said, I need to tell you something. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Are you telling me? What's happening here? Like, you've known this and you never shared this with me, because all of a sudden this ability started coming out. And then spirit on the other side started showing my mother things. So now it's happening with
Mm.
her. So it's because they wanted her to know that I was very sane. She was checking for, schizophrenia, psychosis,
Right.
anything that you can imagine, which was a
To
good thing
explain it, to explain
to
it. Yeah.
explain it. And when you go through a spiritual transition like this, often in dark night of the soul for a long period of time, you lose everything. So I lost my home. At one point, I lost my daughter. She had to go live with her father. I lost my career. I lost every single thing, anything that I had. And then I had to build myself back up again. And in
Mhm.
that building up, and as I became stronger as a medium, I started working with James. James and I had a mutual friend in common. And I said to my mother, I have to meet James
He's
Van Praagh.
referring to James von Praagh, everyone, our
I
dear
said,
friend.
he's the only one that's going to help me. He's the only one that's going to know anything about this. And so we had a mutual friend that put us together, and we've been together since that. It's been 20 something years. And
Yeah.
he helped me long before he had a school of mediumship. He helped me understand and he helped me deal with it. And then from there, I realized for me, it's not for everybody, but for me, I knew I needed to add something for grief because I was helping so many people. I started to practice as a medium for many years. And I thought, I need something, I need more tools. And so I went back to graduate school and I became a licensed psychotherapist. So I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a medium. And on top of that, for my whole life since I was 20 years old, I'd always done and practiced Vedic astrology. So I use that in my sessions now, and I use numerology, which I love because I like to view a soul. My mission on earth is to crack a soul open. I need to know why the soul entered. I want to know how it entered. I want to know what's going on and what are they here for? Some people are here to experience fear. Some people are here to experience love. Some people are here to experience uh, deep transformation. Like everybody
My
has a
little soul's
different
going,
reason.
"Do me, do me."
Oh, I will. I will. I will. I use a destiny system too that they gave me to work and to crack that code pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And so I go through this process with people, and it's been an incredible journey. It's taken me years to get here, but I'm really grateful that I had the experience. Although it was a lot, and I don't recommend hitting your head to become a medium
Right,
at
but it
all.
it did bring you to your authentic self and your soul's purpose. Yeah.
Completely, just like that.
Clearly,
Just like
you're
that.
on your soul's
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah.
And because
No,
I started
not
seeing
easy.
it wasn't easy, and originally I started seeing my spirit guides. So we all have spirit guides. We might have one, we might have two. I have two. Sometimes they change, sometimes they don't. I've had my two forever. They literally appeared in front of me with my physical eyes, so I could make sure that I saw them. I used to see things with my physical eyes. It's too much now. But spirit guides really, they know our mission. They know we chose to work with them, and we have free will here. So Earth is such a wild school because we have free will, right?
It's the PhD,
Oh,
right?
oh, listen. Whenever I have families that come in with great loss, they're getting their PhD.
Right.
And every time I think I've heard the worst
We're
story of the
getting our
worst
PhD
story,
in spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence,
completely,
soul
completely.
soul. Yeah.
Soul intelligence. And every time I think I've heard the worst story, I'll hear another one that's even worse. And then I always know, and I always have to remind myself, like we all do, that that soul came in to experience great transformation. Here we go. So, and Earth is as you know, a real tough school. And this time period, this timeline that we're on, it's a
Oh,
rough one.
the crunch is on.
Crunch is on,
I say
literally.
it's grow or go. I mean,
It's,
it is grow
you
or
know
go.
what? That should be your tagline.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it
right.
really is. It's grow or go, and that's what, my mission with Soulstream Magazine is to help people to choose, to grow and, give them resources like yourself that they can find you.
Absolutely. Well, it's interesting because 2026, it's going to be a wild ride. And
Plus a
said,
little do tell.
let's do. So, James and I did a prediction show in mid December, and I said it's going to start off with a bang. And it did. Literally, it did.
Oh, yeah. I
Venezuela.
thought it was
Boom.
coming on the 9th. Is something
Right.
else coming
Well, the
on
ninth.
January
Yeah. The
9th?
ninth. Oh, yeah. We have more. I
Some
don't
other
even, what,
little
what can we
thing
call
coming,
them?
but it's
Shenanigans?
no, it's always gonna be for the good, just so it doesn't scare people. It's
Ultimately.
always for the good.
Ultimately.
Your head being cracked open, we think
Right.
such a trauma but
Right.
for your highest good always, and every
Always.
tragedy. My first husband died when I was 29, and we had a baby. I had a 3-year-old,
And, you know,
I
that was your Saturn return
yes, it
at
was, and I mean, and
29,
guess
and it
what?
was an
And guess
11.
what? Guess what? My whole business blew up last year. I couldn't hold the energy of, 6 cities and 20 cover girls and, I'm in my oth is there a second Saturn return? I'm 57 years old.
Yeah, it starts
I'm
about
in it.
now.
Yeah, I'm
Starts
in it.
about 58, yeah, it
Yeah,
just
I did
starts.
it. I'm ready. I'm like, "Bring it." Because I'm ready. I cleared so much out in 2025. I surrendered. That's the best message I can
Well,
give.
you
Would
know
you
what?
agree to just surrender?
Absolutely. So you surrender, and I used to say, "Just bring it on," and then it was coming so fast that I'd
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
"Slow
right.
it down, every
I
folks."
I'm joking a
You
little,
know,
but
but it's
I
but
am.
it's what you came in to do, it's the work that you
Yeah.
came in to
And I've
do.
been praying, I pray mercifully clear my cocoon, the
Yeah,
Kabbalistic, to
yeah. Oh, yeah.
mercifully clear my blocks. And I do ask mercifully for spirit to
It's a great
slow
way
down
to
a
put
little bit.
it.
Slow
But
down
it's
a
so
little.
important. It is important to clear the trauma wounds. Go look at your trauma. I work with Dr. Shirley and Pellizzeri, who does somatic experience. There are many, many ways to work with trauma. This is a year was 2025 was this year of the snake, and it was a 9 ending. So it was like to let go, let go, let go. We're still in that letting go phase, but on February 17th, we go into the year of the fire horse. And the year of the fire horse is like no year we've seen. The
Mm.
last time it was in 1966. So if you were born in 1966, it's a big year for you.
I
It's a
was
big year.
68. Yeah.
68. It's
Yeah.
a big year. And so this year is the fire horse brings passion and energy and deep, deep, deep spirituality. So this is going to be 2026 is
Yeah.
a 1 year. It's a new beginning year, but it's
Yeah.
deep. I mean, it will bring us a lot of wisdom and insight.
Yeah.
It's a big year.
Yeah, I've surrendered and to my soul's mission, to continue. I publish the Health and Wellness magazines, spiritual. They're also
Which is
spiritual
going to be great
for
because this is a
20
year where it
20
helps.
years. But now
Wow.
I know I'm supposed to just put it on the Soul Stream Media.
All the work that you've been doing for all of that time will pay this year. It goes forward this year.
I have been sensing that
Yeah,
it's, I sold it. Not sure that's all going to work out. And I thought, that's okay if it doesn't work out. It's not like the last 4 years that I launched that Mind Body Soul magazine. It's never a waste of time. The energy's
never,
never a waste of time.
never. It never
So
is.
tell us a little bit more about
Well,
what's coming in
2026,
2026. We've got the Year of the Fire Horse,
you're the fire horse. It's a
February
1 year,
17th. People born
February
in
17th. We
66.
also have on February 17th a solar eclipse. And that is going to be very intense. And in Vedic astrology, it's in Aquarius. I also think it's in Western Aquarius too. But it will bring humanity a lot. We'll have a lot of crises this year, a lot. But it will also help us make us stronger.
Yeah.
It'll help us with who we are because you really want to know who you are in this lifetime. If you are here, you are so damn lucky to be here. And I say that people will say, no, it's like the worst. No, 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 no. Your soul is an e-ticket from Disneyland. If you got this ticket to be on Earth at this time, you will learn
Yeah,
so
there are 8
much.
billion people. It's not even made for that many people, but because
Right.
we all wanna grow, we
We
came
all
here at
want to
this time.
grow. I do a lot of work with star seeds and intergalactic souls, and so many are here now on Earth because they wanted to be here. They want to experience the light and the dark of it. We learn so much from it,
And I know my little soul couldn't wait. I grew up in
right?
a very violent Sons of Anarchy, that show. I mean, you wouldn't know it, right, by looking at but I did, and part of my healing was the moment I knew my little soul couldn't wait to be his daughter. And do you know, flash forward, 32 years of recovering from that, or more than that, 40 years, I guess, since I left home at 17, I'm the closest person to him. And he says, I love you at the end of each call. My father just started this a few weeks ago. So the more, we heal
Well, that would have been a mission too,
our
then.
souls
That would have been a mission to
through.
help change him.
Yeah, yeah. But
How
he
and
helped
yeah,
me by
wow.
being so wild and crazy. But there was good in that, Kelly, and I'll let you tell us more. I will just share that. So I had an event in St. Louis, the Living Fit Expo for over 13 years. 3,000 women in one day at Plaza Frontenac in St. Louis, a health expo. And we would have, wonderful coaches like yourself, also 60 vendor tables, fashion show, and speakers. And, that man, my father, knew how to throw an event. It was sex, drugs, rock and roll. It was 1968 when I was born to these teenagers, but that has played into my very extroverted career,
Sure, of
and
course. So
I
you
just
would
so
have chosen
comfortable.
them for a reason.
I could run an event with 3,000 people really with myself. It's sometimes worse when there's a staff, but I
Right. Wow.
attribute to that having that father who knew how to throw a party.
Well, it's funny. My father was a jazz musician and he was a heroin addict and an alcoholic and a crazy, crazy, crazy guy. Brilliant and crazy. And it was very hard for me because all I wanted was normal.
Right.
But he was very loving. He was sweet. He was kind. And what I got from him, and because I had to really think, why would I have chosen that as a
Yeah.
father?
Where's
Like
the
what?
good? There's
Where's it?
always
And
good.
he was so creative and loving. And he taught me how to be creative. And he said, "Oh no, here, you teach, you go in the kitchen, cook anything you want, do whatever." There were no rules. So I went, "Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
guess I can do it."
Yeah.
And
And
so
that
I see why I picked him. It was a good choice
Yeah,
actually for
yeah,
me.
me too. And of course I hated him till I was probably 33 years old.
I'm right there with you, sister.
I gotta let the dog in.
Yeah, fathers, there's something. Mothers too. Mothers are
Yeah.
something
Oh
too.
my gosh. Yeah, they're still together.
Wow.
57 years. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I
That's
know.
a contract.
I know. They have one.
That's a soul contract.
I'm amazed at them. Okay, so let's tell the viewers more about what's coming up in 2026 to help them navigate.
Yeah. I
What's your
I
best wisdom?
My best
Because
wisdom
there's
for
going to be some
2026
crises and
is
things.
to say yes to your soul. Say yes to your soul. Launch yourself. Take that class. If you have been feeling of learning something, get out and do it. If you've needed to change relationships, do it. This is a year of passion. It goes fast and it brings us ultimately in alignment with our soul. It brings us in alignment here this year. So I would say this with this kind of energy, you want to go forth and you want to go fast. It's that kind of energy. And I think it's going to bring people to a spiritual place that they may never have explored before. We're going to see old belief systems breaking up. The
Yeah.
old belief systems, which
Yeah.
what kills you really is a belief system. I mean,
Mhm.
we're going to see
Mhm.
big changes in that. We're going to see waves of spirituality coming. So I think it's such an important year, a hugely important year here.
So I'm hearing jump in the saddle though.
Jump in the saddle.
Jump on
Jump
a
in the
horse. I'm gonna go
saddle.
horseback riding
Okay.
tomorrow up here.
Wear red, and you wearing a little like a red
Yeah.
top or something. Yeah, wear red.
We're
Get
right up
going.
here and jump in the saddle.
Jump in the saddle. That's good. You'll be fine. Just keep going.
Great. And so speaking of which, they can go to your website to book private sessions with you, any of your classes. They can tune in on Thursdays. You're live, which is so
Yes,
fun. You're live at 5 p.m. Pacific on Thursdays.
and that's called
And,
Ask Me Anything. So
and you
usually
do.
typically I'll have a topic, but you can ask me any questions. I don't care if it's spiritual, mediumship, psychological. It doesn't really
And now
matter. I'll
I watch
answer.
that through Facebook. What's the
Facebook
best
or
way?
YouTube. Either way, Facebook,
Okay.
YouTube, and
Maybe I am watching on YouTube. I'm probably
also
watching
in what is it called? Instagram.
Instagram. Instagram. Okay. And what's your handle? Kellee White on everything. Ke.
It's LLEE, spiritual medium Kellee White. Yeah, that's it. Then I have a new show coming up. It's beginning February 16th with Dr. Shirley and Palazzari, and that's called Roots of Healing, where we go back into the psychological roots of what happened. Where's your trauma? We're going to be
That's what I
talking
was
about
going
that.
to ask to give our viewers, like, what's a good resource to start healing the trauma so we can jump in the saddle and ride the horse through 2026?
A great resource is called traumahealing.org. Traumahealing.org. And that's Dr. Peter Levine's website. And you can find a fabulous somatic therapist there. Somatic therapy is where trauma is stuck in the body. And it's really extraordinary. Dr. Shirley specializes in that. She's a partner with Dr. Peter Levine. He's a great guy. Really
Peter,
interesting.
great. Great. Sorry, my
I love dogs.
Gracie is
Gracie has a lot to say.
She's sensing something. Somebody's visiting. Okay. Well, anything else you want to share with the viewers?
Just you can find my website, kelleewhite.com. I have all kinds of everything on there. I have an app. You can join the app. I do a thing called, let me see, it's called 5 o'clock somewhere every other Friday. And we get on Zoom and we have a cocktail or whatever you want, or a glass of coffee or whatever it is. And we sit and we just talk about all kinds of things. Yeah, it's
Fun.
like just
Okay.
a real open group
And
and it's
that's
really
live
fun.
on Zoom
It's live on Zoom, joining
and it's
my app.
open, joined through.
It's
Okay.
open to join on my app.
And we
And you
can
can get
find all
that on
this
my
on your
website.
website. Okay, great.
I
That is
know.
one thing I didn't know about. And of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
everybody read the book, Cracked
Read
Open.
my book, Cracked Open here. And the other thing that I have about it, it's on audio now on my website.
Fantastic.
So there you go.
Fantastic. Kelly, thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's so
You for
fun.
being
Really great
here.
to meet you,
And
Stacy.
I'll
I'm
have
glad to
you
be
back
here.
again on Soul Stream Media. Love for you to be a part of it. And
Thank you.
Happy New Year, everyone,
Happy,
to all of our viewers.
Happy
Yay.
New Year.